everybody, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to lead you through, pardon me, your Tabata HIIT circuit. So today's circuit is going to be slightly bar inspired, so we're going to go for some smaller movements meant to target your core. It's going to include not just your belly but your back. We've got some chest arm moves as well. If you have some really light weights at home, something under 3 pounds, I'd recommend bringing it. Under 3 pounds also means you can absolutely grab a can or a bottle of water if you want to hold something in your hands just to challenge yourself a little bit more. I promise you that I think that today's moves are challenging even if you have no weight in your hands. We're going to get started in 3 minutes. Make sure that you have some water, that you have some space for yourself. If you have an opportunity to put music on, I encourage you to put that music on. We're going to do the best that we can with the bodies that we have today together. So great to be back working out with you all. I definitely missed you over the last 2 weeks. I hope you missed seeing our faces every day as well. As you might hear, I don't feel 100%, but I'm still here to give 100% of what I've got, because you know our best is always enough. Let's bang it out together in just about 3 minutes. We are going to start standing today, and we have a lot of work that's going to happen on the floor. Fred, oh, I bet you would like some peanuts. I will give them to you. You're a real slave driver about those peanuts. Into my bribery. Okay, well, it is what it is. Great. 1 minute till we get started. Reminder, you do have one more amazing opportunity to join me later today live. I will still post the link, as we did have some awesome people showing up to that core rehab and stretch class from 6:05 to 6:35 p.m. If you're here early, feel free to just start moving a little bit. We're up away from our desks, really. Start to shake out those shoulders, relieve your tension. If you have some music going, maybe you can do a little bit of dancing. Start taking some deeper breaths. And if you're just joining us, I do believe it is about 4:30, so let's all do some just nice arm swings right here. Maybe gently shifting your weight if it feels good, side to side. Start to point one toe, feel your calf engage. Just move at the pace that feels right for you. Start drawing that lower belly in. And I know you know what I mean, but I'm going to show you just in case. Because you know, you probably got up from your desk like, let's do this, you know, and you're standing there. And I say engage your abdominal core, and you're like, what? And what we're really talking about is I really want you to make sure today, since we're going to do those small movements, that you actually pull that lower belly in. If you were watching, you saw a difference. If not, you can rewind. You can check it out later. Notice that as you do draw that in, there tends to be a little tucking of that pelvis as well. So we're going to eliminate that extra arch that's Some of us tend to have in that lower back, maybe even finding a little bend in of our knees for a lot of the moves that we have today, to really make sure that you have as much contraction of your abdominal core, the same way that you would tighten that core up. If someone was coming to like give you a good punch, you'd really pull it in nice and tight to brace yourself. All right. Let's come into some shoulder rolls, still just focusing on drawing that belly button back towards your spine. That feel-good feeling. Maybe it's the first time you've really engaged your core today or brought focus to it. Change the direction of your shoulder rolls. Maybe even separating out those shoulder rolls, feeling them a little bit further down your back if that feels good for you. All right, relax those arms down by your side. Go ahead, inhale, bring them up to 90 degrees or what feels like 90 degrees for you. Once again, draw that lower belly in, relax your shoulders down away from your ears, and then just draw one knee up at a time with that toe pointed down towards the floor. If you got some music going, if it feels good to take a faster beat, you can go at whatever pace works for you. Really continue to focus on those shoulders relaxed down away from your ears, and with your eyes open and focus on one spot in front of you, it's going to help you to find that balance. Let's get ready to add some arms. Both elbows draw back at the same time. One more opportunity as those elbows draw back, as you're lifting that knee up and pointing that toe down towards the floor. Maybe you're finding that squeeze of the glute. You have a big lift up of your chest. Good work. Keep it up. Point that knee towards the ceiling and your toe to the floor. We're going to change it up into just the movement of a jumping jack. You can do a full jumping jack if you want to, or keep the intensity low in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to keep the intensity low. Really just focusing once again on keeping that lower belly drawn in nice and tight while finding some movement. If you can keep that true engagement of your abdominal core while doing a big jack, you're welcome to. We're keeping it nice and slow with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more big move in our warm-up. Just going to turn sideways for you. All right, so with our feet about shoulders width distance apart, pardon me. So open your feet just a little bit wider than you probably had them. We're going to inhale those arms up towards the ceiling, and with your belly pulled in nice and tight, so taking that rounding out of your lower back, you're going to hinge forward. And bring your fingers down towards the floor, and if your fingers can't touch the floor, that's totally okay. You can bring your hands to your knees, because next up we're going to come down into a squat. Might need to turn your toes out. It's okay if your heels lift up off of the floor. You can use your elbows to help open one knee up. I think it feels delightful to shift the weight side to side. Maybe you're taking it a little bit easier on yourself, staying here in a squat, doing the same thing. All right, wherever you are, work to lift your chest up. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring the weight towards your heels and lift yourself all the way up. If you have your toes turned out, bring your heels behind your toes, so toes forward once more. We're going to do that 2 more times. Pull that belly in nice and tight, shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Inhale, stretch up, come down with that nice flat back, as flat as you can. It's okay to have a bend in your knees to begin with. That's okay. Turn your toes out, heels in. Sit your hips down, come back into that squat. Bring your elbows to the inside of the thighs. Maybe you can open up a little bit more this time. Maybe you want to focus on a nice little twist here at the bottom. You can even have one hand on the floor, opposite hand on the floor. Just do what feels good in this warm-up. Get your hips as low as they can go. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Take a big exhale on your next inhale. Stand yourself up. Awesome. Once more, bring your heels behind your toe. Pull your belly in. Rain down towards the floor. Turn those toes out. Maybe heel toe your feet a little wider if you have had trouble getting down. Lift yourself up once more. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale, press yourself up. Awesome, relax your arms down by your side. All right, grab a quick sip of water if you want to. We're gonna come into a nice standing ab warm up from right here. Ooh. Sorry, I got a cramp in my calf there, which means you know today's gonna be good. All right, we're gonna make our intervals a little bit longer for some of today's moves, just so you really have time to start to feel it and then to exhaust that muscle group. But we're gonna start off nice and easy with just a little bit of a side bend. So this time standing with your feet about hips width distance apart, so not too wide. We're just gonna reach down towards the side. And I want you to really focus on finding this reach of working kind of like making a little rainbow to bring yourself down. So not just crunching down towards the side, like you're actually reaching towards something on the floor. Think about that. That's out of your reach and a little bit further away as opposed to just right here by your thigh. Find that little bit of extra reach, and when you're working to find some engagement on the opposite side. All right, so we'll do each side one time. We'll be kind. We're gonna be kind today. We'll do a little gentle version to each side one time, and then we'll go a little bit harder as we change it up. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, so feet are planted on the floor. You're just reaching towards something a little further away, and you can set the pace that you want to work today. Keep those shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Keep that belly pulled in nice and tight. Starting to feel, hopefully, a little bit of warmth on the outside of your body, whichever direction you decided to lean to first. If you want to work a little bit harder, even from right here, instead of having that opposite hand down towards the floor, go ahead, bend your arm and bring that knuckle up towards your face, maybe even relaxing your fingers on the back of your head. And make sure you're not applying any pressure to the back of that head though. Yay, take a nice little break. That was 40 seconds. We're gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. Shake it out however feels good for this 20-second break for yourself. We've got about 10 seconds left, so start to plant your feet again. Make sure you're taking that extra little rounding out of your back. Draw that lower belly in. Relax your shoulders down, your chest is open, and begin. So remember, not just reaching down towards the floor, finding a little bit of a reach a little further away so you can feel it in the opposite side body. Shoulders relaxed away from ears. Pull that core in once more. Make sure you're not locking your knees out, so bring a little bit weight to your heels. You can find a slight little bend in your knee. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, bring that opposite arm up to your head, either knuckle right by your head, which is just going to bring a little bit more awareness so you can work to relax your hand on the back of your head as long as you're not applying any pressure. Nice work. All right, to make this move just a little bit more challenging, if you're interested, we're going to inhale those arms up overhead. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. You can take a slight bend in your knees once again, and with arms up overhead, find that same reach over to whichever side you started with. Begin. So belly nice and tight, and just find that nice little pulsing reach towards the side. So this time, like you're reaching for something in the corner where the ceiling and the wall meet, to find that big opening, that warmth through both sides of your body. Shoulders relaxed down away from your ears. So if you find it hard to be here without your shoulders being delightful earrings, just relax those arms down by your side. Find a nice little reach. Or arm behind your head. Keep that belly pulled in tight. Awesome. And let's come through to the other side. So most important thing is you're focusing on keeping that abdominal core engaged. Feel free to just shake it out, have some fun. In between, we've got about 10 seconds left, so start to plant your feet again. Engage your glutes, engage that core, pull your belly in. You can inhale those arms up for that extra challenge. Shoulders away from ears. Find that reach to the side, like you're holding on to a big volleyball. Thumbs towards the back of the room. Really reach, try and touch that volleyball to the side wall. Focus on bringing that belly back in. If you're having trouble, remember, come back to a slightly easier option, maybe one arm up overhead. Find a big reach, nice big length, almost there. Yay, lift yourself back up. Good work. Grab yourself a quick sip of water. Next up, we've got some arm circles, working to really warm up that upper body, get your chest and your upper back involved as well. All right, you're welcome to grab some super light weights for these arm circles if you have them. 3 pounds or below. Gives you a second to go grab some cans from the kitchen if you need to. If you want to grab hold of your water bottle. Wow, that timer seemed particularly loud. All right, so we're going to start off with these arm circles. We're going to keep with this 40 seconds of work, which I know is a long interval. You might find that you need to take a little bit of a rest. It's not just going to be arm circles. There's going to be some different things, but we'll start with our going arm circles forwards, and halfway through I'll let you know so we can do arm circles backwards. If you find that you're collapsing yourself down forward, hunching in forward, get rid of any weights in your hands and just do the best that you can, but also make sure you're not bringing an extra arch to your back so you have the weight ground throughout your heels, your ball of your foot, your belly's pulled in nice and tight, shoulders are relaxed away from ears. And you're just gonna find those nice big circles with your pinkies towards the back wall as best as possible. All right, that's gonna be move number 1. You ready? We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So you can have your feet together if that feels good for you. You can have your feet a little bit wider apart. I really want you to continuously do a little scan of your body and ask yourself, are you really squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other and then drawing that belly in, taking a slight little tuck of your pelvis? Oh, switch directions. Time is going by so quickly, right? This isn't so bad. You can make it a little bit harder by moving a little bit faster if you need to, but just make sure you still have that form, that core contracted. Awesome, take your first little break. All right, next we're gonna keep our arms out. We're just gonna turn from one side to another. I'm gonna try slightly heavier weight. You might regret this. All right, we got 5 seconds till we get started, but you know what? With challenge comes change, remember that. All right, just 40 seconds of work, just turning from one side to the other, just flipping those palms over. Remember, if you move a little bit faster, you're going to be working a little bit harder. Make sure you still have that lower belly drawn in nice and tight. Starting to feel this one personally throughout those forearms. Make sure those shoulders stay relaxed down away from your ears. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Chest is nice and open. You're so close, y'all. We got 5 seconds left. Press through those heels. Nice work. Awesome. Next, we're going to go for a little bit of movement towards the front side of the body. So, lifting a weight up if you have it in front of your chest. Give yourself a little turn in each direction. You can give yourself 2 turns and then slowly lower it down. Begin. So, belly pulled in nice and tight, like you're driving a car. If you don't have any weights that you can hold on to, just bringing those hands up like you're driving yourself crazy, just staying at home these days. I know I am. Maybe you've got a water bottle nearby that you can quickly grab hold of a water bottle, or just something. Oh, my water bottle doesn't have a lid, so that would be a very terrible example. All right, but mostly you're really focusing on, once again, just keeping that core engaged as you draw your arms up, that as you draw your arms up, you're not drawing your shoulders up with your arms. You're really finding that lift, nice and slow, and a lower. Awesome. We got one more move. I'll see with this way. All right, we're gonna have those arms out towards the side. You're just gonna bend in and open. 3, 2, belly tight, plant your feet, and begin. So just bend and open. Make sure you're still breathing. Make sure you didn't bring in extra arch to that lower back, so you might need to take a little tuck of that pelvis. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Working to keep those elbows in line with your shoulders. Try not to let them drop. Still breathing. What's happening with your weight? Make sure it's not rolling towards the outside of your feet. So equal pressure. Great news. You made it, y'all. Grab a quick sip of water if you want to. Next move is also going to take some really light weights. I'm just going to hide the timer for a second since this beep is so incredibly loud. As I tell you about our squat pulses with elbow raises. So starting to work in some inner and outer thigh work with this one. Toes are going to be pointed towards the outside walls, and you're going to do your best to really get your inner and outer thighs towards the walls in front and behind you as well. You're going to lift those arms up just like we started with to 90 degrees, but then you're going to pulse those elbows just a little bit higher than 90 degrees. So if you have a light weight, I would recommend holding on to the lightest weight that you have, because we're going to keep this up for 40 seconds. 4 rounds through it, 40 seconds. Coming down here, just pulsing through your heels as you lift those arms up. Make sure that you have your feet wide enough so that you're not bringing those knees past your toes. So a nice wide frog / goddess squat. And we'll work to get as low as we can as we move through. All right, you can do this with no weights as well. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna grab these delightful ones in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So palms facing towards you, elbows nice and high. As you lower down, your fingertips go a little higher to the sky. Starting off with the weight in our heels and just a nice little pulse. Make sure that chest is lifted, and once again work to pull that belly in. Starting to feel it in those glutes. Can you come a little bit lower here? We've got just about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. 1 round done. Oh, shake it out. Do it feels good. So we got 3 more. 3 more to go, y'all. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms up. Go ahead, sit yourself down. Pulse it out. As you lower down, those arms go up. Draw that lower belly in again. If you want to distract yourself just a little bit as you still think about drawing that belly in, one heel up, other heel up. Doesn't have to come up super high. Just work to lift it up off the floor as you continue to lift those elbows to the sky. If you need to take a quick break, you take a quick break, but we've got 5 seconds left here, y'all. Keep those eyes lifted. Great work. All right, we're more than halfway through. Shake it out. Maybe shake those hips out just a little bit. Really starting to work those outer glutes as well. What can you do to make these last 2 rounds nice and fun? Here we go. Lift those arms up, sit yourself down. Here we go. Now, if you're really struggling here, maybe give yourself like 3 pulses and lift yourself up. If you feel like you're missing out by not coming up onto your toes, lift yourself up and press up onto your toes at the top. Otherwise, how about if we lift both heels and lower both heels? We're more than halfway. Pull that lower belly in. If you can't lift both heels, you can always go back to lifting one heel and then lifting the opposite heel. Keep with it for 3, 2, oh my gosh, we made it. 1 more time through. And you can stick with that basic move, and you can let go of any weights or water bottles in your hand. Find a way to keep moving. Begin. Even if your move, continuing moving, involves lifting yourself back up, just make sure you're bringing yourself right back down. Remember, you still have the option to press up onto your toes, even if you're lifting yourself up out of your squat. Focus a little bit more on that lift of your elbows if you can. 10 seconds left, pull your belly in. I know my legs are shaking. 3, 2, oh my gosh, we made it, you guys. And the great news is that we next get to come on down to the floor. You can bring some weights. We've got a weighted bird dog. Now, if bird dog is already a big challenge for you, don't worry about bringing weights. Just focus on getting the balance portion. However, if bird dog feels easy for you already, I promise just putting a little weight in your hands is one great way that we can make it more challenging. So I'm going to turn my mat a little bit. All right, so we're going to do one arm at a time, just sticking with one arm at a time in our bird dog. However, if you find that it's uncomfortable for you to place your hands palms on the mat, like me, you can always keep your other hand on top of a weight if you have it. And if you don't have a weight, just make a knuckle so that you don't have that pressure on the back of your presumably tight little wrists. Okay, all right, so with a nice flat back and eyes down towards the floor, you're going to extend out with a nice weight in your hand, draw your elbow and knee towards each other, extend out once more, and then bring it down. And then just repeat the same thing over and over. But I do want you to focus on really getting that crunch and then the return to make sure that you come back to that nice flat back and that core engaged every time. All right, so pick whichever side you would like to start with in 3, 2, 1, begin. Oh no, I picked the wrong timer up. We'll just hide that in the drawer. All right, and now we start. All right, so reaching it out. If you want to, as you reach it out, to get a little bit more of that, oh, I forgot the crunch. To get a little bit more of that shoulder complex involved, you can also turn your palm down towards the floor. So reach and lift and twist. And if that doesn't make any sense, just keep doing whatever you were doing. We are about 10 seconds away from finishing out that first round. Nice work. All right, we're going to switch to the opposite side, being super kind today. Switching to the opposite side, focus on that nice flat back. This is a delightful back move, getting those glutes involved as well. 3, 2, 1, begin. So reach it out. If you want to, you can turn that wrist over and then come in for a crunch, stretch out and down. What's happened with your feet here? I know that I'm usually pretty tempted to stretch through the toe, which is an option, but you can feel a little bit more engagement through that glute if you press through your heel instead of stretching through your toe. And maybe you need to move a little bit slower to think about finding that engagement through your heel instead of just stretching through your toe. I know I do, but that's okay. Do whatever works for you. Awesome. We're going to switch back to the opposite side. If you want to work a little bit harder, instead of being here in tabletop, you can also be in plank. Find that nice big reach. Draw your elbow and knee together, and then reach back out. I don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to stay here in tabletop. Just wanted to make sure that I gave an option for anyone who wants to work a little bit harder. Know that you can come off of this knee as a base, and be more into a plank. Maybe you give it a try. Humble yourself just a little bit. We got 10 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, last time. What do you think if you're trying this out with the weight? I know regular bird dog feels easy breezy. Here we are on the last less than a minute of this move. I definitely feel it. Make sure you're not sinking into those shoulders. Press yourself up, pull your belly and flat back, and begin. So you get that little reprieve for a sec with your arm down to reset yourself, arm down, knee down, or you're continuing the challenge for 40 seconds for as long as you can go in that planks. Keep your eyes down towards the floor. You are amazing. You got just about 10 seconds left to go. Keep it up. You can do this for 10 seconds or find what you can do for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hope you worked yourself to the very last itty bitty mini moment there. Let's see what's coming next. You can grab a quick sip of water if you would like to. Oh, we get to stand up. We get to stand up for what I hope y'all think seems really fun. Oh my gosh, I got a timer. For our first true Tabata interval of the day. Okay, so we're gonna go through 4 different moves. 2 times we're gonna change up the second set just a little bit. We're gonna get started though with feet about hips width distance apart, and I'm gonna seem so kind because we're just gonna do 20 seconds worth of calf raises and then you get a rest. So work to press all the way onto the balls of your feet. If you need to for balance, come on to something to help with balance. Make that happen. We start in 3, 2, 1. Belly in, begin. So shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Try to work with control. If you're having trouble with that control, if you find yourself just, whoa, collapsing right back down into your heels, come closer to that surface and use it so you can really work to take your time and actually engage a little bit more through that calf. All right. So next up, we're going to keep our heels up. We're going to lift our arms forward as we come into a really low squat. Begin. So heels up, come all the way down. Keeping those heels up, you can lower them at the very top, but then lift heels up. Lower yourself all the way down, booty to the floor. Lift up, lower down. If you can't make it all the way to the floor, just take a little bend in those knees and then release your heels back down. Nice work. All right, next we're gonna come to about halfway. We're gonna keep those arms up, our chest open. We're just gonna knock our knees towards each other. Join me right here. So this time, keeping those heels off of the floor. Find one spot to focus for balance. Just do the best that you can. Pull those bellies in. The more you find that engagement of your abdominal core and your breath, the easier it is to balance here, I promise. Awesome work. All right, so next up, we're gonna bring our knees together, lift those arms up overhead. We're just gonna pulse it out here, bring those heels up off of the floor. You might need to shorten your step just a little bit. I find 6 to 8 inches, so the insides of your hips to be a little bit easier. Like you're holding that beautiful giant volleyball. It came back to you, it was meant to be. Squeeze those knees in towards each other. Awesome. All right, so next we're gonna do the same thing, but with our feet out. So point those toes out, make a giant pizza wedge with your feet. Your heels are gonna come apart as we once again return to these calf raises. Pull your belly in nice and tight. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. Start to come back to that breath. Make sure your core is engaged though. Don't relax through there. We got a 10-second break coming up. Here it is. All right, so this time we're gonna come back to that big low squat. I want you to work to keep your heels together as you squat as close to the floor as you can. All right, so think about lowering yourself down and then bringing those beautiful arms up overhead, making a rainbow. I am not a ballerina. Oh my gosh, y'all, I saw a picture of myself for some video doing cardio kickboxing this week, and it is so clear. Take a break. I've never been in a fight in my life. All right, so next up, we're still gonna come here with our heels touching each other, but lift it off the floor and find a nice knee knock. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my gosh. Woohoo. Oh, yes, squeeze those glutes. Isn't this fun? Remember, you can be using a delightful surface to help you. Oh my quads. Awesome, find that balance. Oh, great. Next up, we pulse. We pulse with those heels together. So come down halfway, heels lifted, just pulse it out. Let's just do a little couple arm movements. I don't know what feels more natural, this and then this. I like this. Do. Oh my gosh. Burning. We made it. Great. Grab a quick sip of water. Let's make our way down to the floor. We got 2 more sets of moves for today, and they all happen down on the floor. All right, next up, we're gonna do a variety of ab bicycles. Yay, we're gonna do them fast, we're gonna do them slow. We're just gonna keep changing it up. Let's get started for our ab bikes with nice straight legs, and we're gonna go for more of a scissoring motion for the first 20 seconds. No, you know what? We're gonna be really kind to ourselves because we're thinking about really engaging that core, and we're gonna start off with just alternating toe taps to the floor so that you can really make sure you don't have a lot of extra space below your back, that you're really planting that lower back towards the mat as best as possible. The more that your knees are stacked right on top of your hips, the more it's going to be a challenge to keep that lower back to the floor. So if you have to draw those knees a little bit closer because you're being smart for your body today, that's totally okay. You're still going to be working those abs. As you tap your toes down towards the floor, you're just going to be doing it smarter. If it's easier for you to have those knees down towards the floor, your lower back, extend your knees a little further away. All right, let's get started. 20 seconds to work, 10 seconds to rest in 3, 2, 1, begin. Now if you need a little extra assistance here, you can always bring your thumbs right below your booty. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you to work to glue that lower back to the mat like you just staked a tent through your belly button towards the floor. Awesome. So if you feel like your abs are not strong enough, that is the place you can stay for the next couple of rounds. Otherwise, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. Remember, you can have your hands here. I want you to press through your heel and then draw yourself back to tabletop. Just working on really engaging those abs now that we're down on the floor, pressing through that heel. Remember, you can work a little bit harder by keeping your knees further away from the center line of your body. Take a break. To begin with, we're going to just make it a little bit bigger. This time with nice straight legs, we're going to start that scissoring of the legs. If you don't need your hands under your bum, bring them out a little bit further. You're just going to have to work a little bit harder the more that you bring your arms away from the center line of your body. And you can bring your arms away and maybe find a little bit less of a drop of your legs to work to just learn how to really find that engagement in your lower core. All right, awesome. Take a nice little break. Next up, let's go ahead and do an alternating jackknife. So bring your arms up overhead and reach towards your opposite leg. I'm going to bring both arms with me because coordination-wise, I need to. We're just starting to get that upper body involved as well. Lifting that chest up, beautiful. Go ahead and bend your knees. This time we're just gonna reach towards the opposite side. So one shoulder stays towards the floor. As you just reach, begin. Being a little kind here, still working to keep that lower back on the floor, but having your feet down on the floor can make it a little bit easier for some people to truly engage their abs. Keep that lower belly pulled in the best you can. Great work. Bring your hands by your head. Bring your fist by your ears. And let's go ahead and just find that little cross body crunch here. Elbow towards your knee. Hopefully you started. I meant to actually use the word start, but I realized I did not. So taking out that drive with the fist and making you use your abs more to find that cross body motion. Awesome sauce. We got 2 more to go. Which we going to do? Arms up overhead. This time bringing those hands all the way down to your hips. Begin this motion like those old school ab rockers. Go ahead, send those legs up towards the ceiling. Keep reaching your fingers down towards the end of the mat. We got our last move right here. We're just gonna lift our shoulders off the floor and reach. If you need to, bring a bend to your knees. Get started and begin. So shoulders staying off the floor. This time, continuing to decrease the space between your lower ribs and your hips. A slight tucking of your chin towards the chest, just so it's not stretched up towards the ceiling. You made it. Lower yourself down. Awesome. Take a gentle rocking of your knees from side to side. And then let's roll ourselves over and come into tabletop for one last move of the day. Yay, we got time for one last move. And the other timer. All right, so we're going to go for some fire hydrants. An option to make your fire hydrant a little bit more challenging by taking that light weight that you have and tucking that light weight behind your knee. So again, if you need to, you can always bring your knuckles down towards the floor. If your wrists are tired, you're going to find a nice flat back. We're going to do 2 different moves. First, we're going to go for a glute kickback. So keeping this nice 90-degree angle, your heel can be as close to your glute as possible. So just lift and lower. And then we're going to stick with this leg and go for a more traditional fire hydrant. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right, y'all. I wish we had time to do all 4 minutes of this move. However, we don't. So we're just going to switch it up into that fire hydrant in 3, 2, 1. Switch it up. Open towards the side, so inner thigh down towards the floor. Great work. Just about 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Take a nice little break. Go ahead, release that weight from underneath of you. Give yourselves a couple cat-cows as you work to bring the weight behind your other knee. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Keep cat-cowing it out for 4, 3, 2. Awesome. Let's come on into these glute kickbacks here. So just big squeeze. Make sure that you're working to find the squeeze of your glutes to lift this weight up, not just swinging that knee back and forth. It's not going to get you as much engagement as it is if you're squeezing your glute to lift up. And switch to that fire hydrant. Feeling this more towards the outside, the side of your delightful roundness. 10 seconds of work left for you today. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Come back into these cat-cows. Awesome. Just relax. left hand down on the floor, lift yourself up into a neutral tabletop. Maybe you open your knees a little bit wider for a stable base. Inhale that right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Let's relax those shoulders and thread the needle as you bring that right arm down towards the floor. You can even shift the weight over towards the right side. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Really work to open up that chest. Just keep stretching up, reach. Go ahead, exhale your left hand down towards the floor. Hand palm under your shoulder, press and lift yourself up. Inhale, right arm back up towards the ceiling. Exhale it down towards the floor. Let's get the other side. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale as you thread the left arm underneath of the right. Bring that temple down towards the floor. Shift your weight. Inhale, right arm up towards the ceiling. Open that chest. Take a couple big deep breaths. One more. Awesome. Relax that hand down towards the floor. Press into it. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale your left arm down. Open your knees nice and wide. Bring your toes together. Send your hips back towards your heels. Go ahead, shift your weight gently right and left while you're still staying lifted. Start to bring that stretch towards your hip flexors into your glutes, and then walk your hands forward as much as feels good for your shoulders. Relax your head down towards the floor as we come into child's pose. Big stretch here in those shoulders, which definitely got some work today with that upper body. Really work to slow your breath down right here. Walk your hands, palms a little bit further apart to the edges of the mat. Go ahead and look forward with your chest and crawl forward like a snake. Bring yourself into Cobra. Extend those legs behind you. Maybe walk your knees back. Get your elbows underneath of your shoulders. Go ahead, relax your head down. Chin towards your chest. Turn your chin to one shoulder. And then the opposite shoulder. Shaking your head no with your eyes down towards the floor. Go ahead, inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Keep continuously pressing those elbows into the floor though. Just getting a little bit more flexion and extension through the neck. Next time you inhale and look up, really stretch your jaw forward. Find that big stretch on your neck. I know it might feel a little weird. Awesome. Relax and release yourself down towards the floor. Make a nice little pillow with your hands. Bend your knees and windshield wipe your legs to just relieve any tension or stress in your lower back. Great. Bring your hands, palms back underneath of your chest. Tuck your toes under. We're going to press ourselves up into plank. Take 2 more breaths right here. On your next exhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling in down dog. Bring those biceps closer towards your ears. Take a generous bend of your knees if you need to. Start to walk your feet forward. Maybe even walking your hands towards your feet. As they get closer, shift the weight into your heels. Take a generous bend of your knees. With the weight in your heels, roll yourself up. Inhale your arms up overhead, stretch up towards the ceiling, pull your belly in, engaged once more, protected. Reach through one finger, reach through the opposite finger, just really stretch up, and on your exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Take 2 big breaths with your arms by your side. Bring a smile to your face. Just be so proud of yourself. I'm so proud of you for coming and working out today. I hope that you feel that same pride in yourself, however much you did, even if you just watched. Watching is a start. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to us. Can't wait to do so many more live workouts throughout the rest of the week. I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day.